So very good morning students, welcome back to first year physics again. So we previously finished about a torque and all as well as the cross product also. Related 1-2 problems also we finished. Here on this basis another problem also is there on the basis of torque and on the basis of a cross product. So there is a one question is there here. In very short answer also, suppose you look at the question 157 page number. See 157 page number. Why do we prefer a spanner of longer arm as compared to the spanner of shorter arms? You know, arm. Why we prefer spanner of longer arm as compared with the spanner of shorter arm? Because spanner of a long arm produces a more torque compared with the spanner of a shorter arm. That's what we prefer always, longer arm, because that produces a more torque. So the torque is nothing but R cross F, so that we will prefer a longer arm than the shorter arm, right? So that is a conclusion for that question. And coming to the one more problem is there on the basis of torque. See, I'll explain you the question. Yeah, there is a question given in the page number 164. Page number 164. Page number 164. Question number is 10th question. See, there is a question like this given. A meter stick is balanced on a knife edge at its center. Actually, there is a meter stick is given. Total length is 1 meter. Right? Length of the stick is given as 1 meter. And it is balanced at a center. When two coins, each of a mass of 5 gram, are put on one onto top of the other at the 12 centimeter mark. So there is a two coins are placed, like one coin and it is another coin. Each of mass is given as 5 gram. The two coins are placed at a corner of 12 centimeter from the end, which is placed like this. So there will be a weight is acting for these two coins. So weight is how much is there now? You say 5g we can, that is we can say 2, no? So 2 into 5 mg we can write, or else we can also take as a 10 also, no problem, 10g directly we can, because two weights are there, no? Now coming to the on the top of the other at the 12 centimeter mark, the stick is found to be balanced at 45 centimeter. Because of this placed, therefore the stick is balanced at a 45 centimeter. Now it is balanced at a 45 centimeter from the end. See, from the end it is maybe balanced like this, right? And actually it is originally balanced at a center, no? This is a center point, it is we can say 15 centimeter, 50. So this gap is we can say 5 centimeter. Because of these two weights are placed at a one end, therefore now the stick is balanced at a 45 centimeter from the one end. Now what is asking, look at, what is the mass of the meter stick is asking. Mass of the meter stick. So total mass you say capital mg, total mass of the stick is capital M. So which is originally balanced at a 50 centimeter. But because of the two coins are placed, therefore the point is shifted to 45 centimeter. So there will be a torque. We can say torque is nothing but a, see, force into perpendicular distance. Of course, torque is nothing but a, we can say, force into perpendicular distance. Look at here, perpendicular distance are nothing but a, there will be a force acting. Look at here, that we can say between these two, because it is balanced at this, no? You say 12 minus 45, what will happen? It is 33 centimeter. And here, you look at here, there will be this gap, 5 centimeter, no? Therefore, there is a torque, there is a force is acting, this 10 mg into this and this into mg, that's all. Because the torque, clockwise torque is equal to anti-clockwise torque, we can say ACW. So that means here, there will be a mg is acting perpendicular and this is also acting perpendicular. So that you say, that is we can say mg into 33 for this perpendicular distance, capital mg into, directly we can take 5. So you cancel, this gg is cancelled, right? Mass is given as 10 into 33 is equal to 5m. So 5 ones, 5 twos. So it approximately capital M is equal to 66 centimeter, 66 mass, no? Yeah, grams. You say 66 grams. Mass of the stick will be 66 grams. See, like this we have to do by applying the torque. Nothing but a what? There is a clockwise and anti-clockwise torques are acting. This is the anti-clock and it is a torque, clockwise torque. See, one is a anti-clock ACW and it is a clockwise torques are acting which are in opposite direction. So, force into perpendicular distance. Here also this force into perpendicular distance. This is the distance 5 centimeter. This distance is 33 centimeter. So, capital MG into 5, 33 into MG. That's all. So, this is the one problem related to the torque related one problem is given. Clear? So that suppose you do like this, then for the practice it is help you in the examination also. Right? So these are the related to the torque, and other problems on the basis of torque will be like this. Right. So let we'll move to the next one. See, coming to the next topic, which is very very important and we should know. See, there is a moment of inertia. Of course we know inertia. Inertia is a tensor. Here also moment of inertia. You take a side heading as moment of inertia. Right? Moment of inertia. Moment of inertia, capital I. Sir, what is moment of inertia? Very simple. First of all, I'll tell you moment of inertia. See, the moment of inertia depends on, we should know, this moment of inertia depends on which factors? First factor, it is depend on mass of the body. Second factor, it is depend on distribution of particles. And it's also depend on shape and the size of the bodies. Everyone concentrate. Moment of inertia depends on mass, distribution, shape, size, as well as temperature of the body. And there is a very very important is there axis of rotation. Sir, what is mean by axis of rotation? Best example I'll tell you. If fan is rotating about a rod, the rod indicates what? Axis of rotation. So based on that rod, fan is rotating. So that fixed about a rod, therefore fan rotating like this. Say fan is rotating in this way because it is fixed like this. Therefore, fan rotates about this axis which rotating like this. So this is depend on axis of moment of inertia, purely depend on axis of rotation. So and here you remember moment of inertia is nothing but a tensor quantity, because we know inertia, moment of inertia, stress and strain are related to tensor quantity. It's not a vector, it's not a scalar, but it is a tensor. Tensor in the sense is we know the quantity which has different magnitudes and different directions, of course. So now I'll tell you about a moment of inertia. So let us you take a one rigid body of mass is capital M. See, this capital M is rigid body, one rigid body it is, right? So the rigid bodies consist of a small particles. The each and every particle mass is you say M1, M2, M3, because there are number of particles. It is consist of a n number particles. Each particle of mass is you take as a M1, M2, M3 and so on. The total mass of the rigid body will be capital M. And here moment of inertia, it is depend on axis of rotation. You take a one axis. You say y dash is the axis. See, about this axis, now we have to say moment of inertia. This is we can call axis of rotation, right? So now the moment of inertia we have to define. See, if the arrow marks indicates like this we can say now we are saying or now we are defining about this axis moment of inertia. Now this rigid body is located from the center of the axis of rotation to the center of the body at a distance is k, or we can say r. Sir, what is k? K is nothing but a, k or r is nothing but a radius of gyration. Radius of gyration, nothing but a distance, but it is a perpendicular distance from the axis to the center of the body. To the center of the body, it is a perpendicular distance between the axis of rotation to center of the body is nothing but a, we can call radius of gyration. It's nothing but in terms of distance. Now moment of inertia is defined as very simple. I is defined as it is the product of the rigid body It is the product of the rigid body and a perpendicular distance. Square of the perpendicular distance between the axis, center of the axis to the center of the body. It is the product of mass and it is the square of the perpendicular distance. Square of the perpendicular distance between the axis to the center of the body is nothing but we can call as the moment of inertia, which is very, very important. Everyone remember, which is very, very important in case of a moment of inertia. So the moment of inertia is nothing but it is the product of mass of the body and square of the perpendicular distance, square of the perpendicular distance between the axis to the center of the body. That's what we can call it is a moment of inertia, or we can also write I is equal to mr square, also no problem, because radius of gyration only. So the radius of gyration is KRR. So moment of inertia, it is a tensor it is, and here units, generally units in CGS system we can say it is a gram centimeter square, and MKS or SI system kg meter square, and dimensional formula DMF m L square it is. See, this is about a moment of inertia perfectly statement, moment of inertia. And coming to the point, sir, what is radius of gyration? Of course, k square is equal to I by m we can. So k is equal to root over I by m we can say. It is the radius of gyration. K is equal to radius, or you want to say capital R is equal to root over I by m. I want to tell you one thing. For radius of gyration, I will also tell you like this. Suppose this rigid body consists of n particles. No? Each particle of mass is m1 and the location is at a distance is r1. Another particle of mass is m2 at a location of r2, and another particle of mass m3 and the location is r3, and it is consists of n particles. Suppose if I take a n particles to be like this, there will be what happens at a different positions and different distances will get. So that according to this information, now you write each and every individual particle moment of inertia. Suppose I want to tell you about a m1 particle moment of inertia. So that m1 r1 square, concentrate everyone, right? m1 r1 square, and go for the second moment of inertia for a second particle, because product of mass and perpendicular, square of the perpendicular distance, that's all. You take m2 r2 square. Go for the third particle m3 r3 square. Go for the fourth particle m3 m4 r4 square, because which are located at a different place in the rigid body. So that you write a moment of inertia for individual particles, that is I is equal to m1 r1 square and m2 r2 square, because individual particles I am telling m3 r3 square and so on it is, right? Because we have n number particles which are located at different places. So that here I is equal to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square and so on it is. So now let us, you take the particles masses are if it is same, yes of course, you say like this. So that you take a m r1 square, m r2 square, m r3 square and so on it is. So in this you take a common is m r1 square plus r2 square plus r3 square and so on. Now in radius of gyration, I would like to substitute in radius of gyration k is equal to, it is root over, what is I know, m into r1 square, r2 square, r3 square plus so on it is, by capital M. It's nothing but it is consist of a nm particles, because n particles are there with each mass is m. So that here you say here capital M, instead of capital M we can take a nm. Therefore radius of gyration we can also take like this, r1 square plus r2 square plus r3 square plus so on by n it is. Yes, we can also say the definition from here. Yes, of course it is also definition, square root of the ratio of moment of inertia to total mass of the body. Ratio of moment of inertia to the total mass of the body. Of course we can also define from here, k is equal to square of the sum, square root of the sum of the individual particles. Yes, we can say that like this also. The statement we can also define square of sum of all individual particles distances by the total number particles. is nothing but a radius of gyration. It is nothing but a distance. Your unit will be what happens? Of course, in CGS system, we can say centimeter. In MKS system, we can say meter. And dimensional formula, we can say directly L. So this is the complete information related to moment of inertia as well as the radius of gyration. So which is very, very important, everyone, you remember, right? Here you remember, moment of inertia, I told you very clear, it is depend on mass of the body, distribution of particles, mass of the body, distribution of particle, and temperature, shape, size. Because for different bodies, different moment of inertia are there. For different shape of the bodies, there will be a different shape of moment of inertia are there. And here temperature is changes, therefore shape of the body changes. When shape of the body changes, therefore moment of inertia changes. That's what I mean here. That's what I mean here. And coming to the next one, here radius, sir, moment of inertia independent on, yes, of course, moment of inertia independent on angular velocity, because which is rotating about an axis, no? This is rotating about an axis, it is independent. Is it dependent on the speed? Anywhere we are getting a speeds? No. So that the moment of inertia, it is purely independent on angular velocity. Not only angular velocity, frequency. Not only that, it is also independent on time period also. In a same way, radius of gyration also. Same. It is depend on mass, distribution, axis of rotation, very, very important. And it is also independent on shape and size. But it is independent on angular velocity, angular frequency, and time period, like this. So radius of gyration is nothing but a distance, a square root of the sum of all distances, sum of all individual particle distances by total number of particles. It's nothing but a radius of gyration. Suppose you go through this moment of inertia perfectly, if you know this concept, then we can do better performance in the upcoming classes. That's what moment of inertia is nothing but the product of mass and the square of the perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation to center of the body. Square of the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation to center of the body is nothing but a moment of inertia I. It is a tensor and units and dimensional formulas are etc. to be like this. Clear here? So this is related to what now? About a moment of inertia, right? Is it okay? See, once you go through this definition and all, because it is very, very important on the basis of moment of inertia, let us, so there is a one problem is given. See, I will discuss that problem. So page number 163, question number 4. Open everyone materials. Page number 163, question number 4, on the basis of moment of inertia. See, on the basis of moment of inertia, there is a one problem, so which is given in the page number 164. See, I'll read the question, right? See, instead of taking this problem, I'll tell you in a simple way. Then after you do this problem. A particles of masses 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram. You take up to 3 particles, not up to 100 particles. Because little complication is there. Instead of taking 100 particles, let us in the page number 163, the problem, now I am changing the question number 4 like this. The particles of masses M1 is equal to 1 gram, M2 is equal to 2 gram, M3 is equal to, you say 3 gram, enough. And the distances are located at a different places, 1 centimeter, R2 is equal to 2 centimeter, R3 is equal to 3 centimeter, which are located respectively on a meter scale. See, these particles are located at distances on a meter scale. Find the moment of inertia of the system of a particle about a perpendicular bisector of the meter scale. So that here moment of inertia is asking. So total moment of inertia is equal to, you say simple, I1 plus I2 plus I3, enough. So I is equal to M1 R1 square perpendicular distance, m2 r2 square, perpendicular distance m3 r3 square. m1 is given as, m2 is given, m3 is given, distance is also given. Suppose in grams is given, you convert into kgs. Better you take in mass, and distance is also you take in a meters, or in its SI system. I is equal to 1 into 10 power minus 3. Radius or distance is given 1 into 10 power minus 2 whole square, plus m2 is 2 into 10 power minus 3 into, it is 2 into 10 power minus 2 whole square, plus 3 into 10 power minus 3 into, it is 3 into 10 power minus 2 whole square. Therefore, you simplify 10 power minus 3 into 10 power minus 4, plus here also same thing, 2 into 2 is nothing but a 4 you take, into 10 power minus 3, 10 power minus 4, no, you write a 10 power minus 7. Of course, here also we can take 10 power minus 7, plus 3 3s are, actually 3 3s are 9, 9 into 3, 27 into 10 power again minus 7. Of course, moment of inertia 10 power minus 7, 10 power minus 7, you take a common, it is 10 power minus 7, 1 plus 4 plus 27. So, I is equal to, here it is I, we can take 28 plus 4, 32 into 10 power minus 7 kg meter square. So, it is for 3 particle system, which I explained about a 3 particle system. Suppose you want to take a, as it is in the question, there is 100 particles are placed at different places. Yes, you take same way plus up to 100. So, there is a calculation problem will be there. So, instead of taking 100 particles, suppose you go through for 3 particles, it is enough. So, you want to do that problem, yes, you do in the material given as 100 particles. So, that you calculate that one by using a 100 particles masses, right. So, these are the problems on the basis of moment of inertia and about a moment of inertia. And here one thing you remember, on the basis of moment of inertia, again we have some theorems also. Theorems also is there. So, that we will look at into the theorems. There are 2 theorems are there on the basis of moment of inertia. One theorem is, we can say, parallel axis theorem, and one more theorem we can say perpendicular axis theorem. One is parallel axis and one more is perpendicular axis theorem. So, parallel axis and perpendicular axis, that is on the basis of moment of inertia only we have to derive and we have to define the statements for the both theorems. One is parallel axis theorem and one more is perpendicular axis theorem. Again, on the basis of parallel axis and perpendicular axis, we have different applications. We have to find the moment of inertia for different shape of the bodies. Say by integration method, by differentiation method is there. So, that I will tell you 1-2 derivations in that regular bodies, but before that we have to derive the moment of inertia of a parallel axis and perpendicular axis theorem also. On that basis, remain applications are there. So, that remain applications, by using that we have to get the derivations. So, this is about today's class, and we will see in the next class for that moment of inertia on the basis of moment of inertia based on the 2 theorems that we will see in the next class. And this is the today's class, and you read the statement and the definition, and as well as you complete the units and dimensions related to the moment of inertia as well as the vector product. That also you read, because it is for 4 marks question in IPE. Regularly they are asking question. Regularly they are asking. But in the previous year also this question was given. Not only previous year, you check the previous papers. So, that the vector product and properties, read and write the answer, and on that basis also I told you 2-3 problems also. So, that you finish that problems, and on torque based also I told you one problem, and you do that problems also, because that problem also very important for 4 marks. In the year of 2020 March the question was given on the basis of torque. So, that this is the today's class. We will see in the next class. Thank you very much.